I've always been really good at finding four-leaf clovers, four-leaf and up. Anyway, I found 14 of them yesterday, 7 of them this morning. I found a 6-leaf today and a 5-leaf yesterday. And so what I've decided to do, because I've had four-leaf clovers drying in books for years, is I'm getting them all and I'm making bookmarks with little personal sayings that I have collected over the years. Trust the process. Thank you for sharing your loving magic with the world. That was personally said to me by a friend. What are you going to do when it all works out? Just collecting mantras and sayings and four-leaf plus clovers and handing them out with book sales. Paper for a feature that I'm doing today, and I made hankies for tonight in case people cry. I hope they do. It's 4:30 and we're about to head out to Hot Springs to get ready for my show. Fit check, kind of. You'll get a better view once I actually do the show. Mwah! Hope to see you there. Or somewhere. Time and place doesn't exist. It's cool.
Began writing poems at age 7 and was introduced to slam poetry at age 12 through W. and Clayton Scott going to their school and performing. Osiris self-published a book in 2020 called Static, Between the Layers, which will be available for purchase tonight after their feature, along with these handmade bookmarks and handkerchiefs. Did everyone get those for free? Okay, make sure you pick that up. There's also Shakespeare books up here for free. Just putting that out there again. Okay, so Islaya is a world travel creator, an environmentalist, a four-leaf clover collector, a safe space maker, a crystal lover, a tarot card reader, and a believer in the power of herbs. It is our pleasure tonight to welcome Fayetteville poet Islaya Osiris.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy 420, by the way. Aloha. You still live in Hawaii. So, hi, happy 420. It's a really special day for me, and not for just the obvious reasons. We'll get to that in my last poem, though. So, I wrote a book, mentioned Static Between the Layers, and the interesting thing about it is it's part poetry and part self-advocacy. After each poem, there is a journal prompt, art prompt, and a mantra. So that's why the journals are around, and I learned how to make paper for this project. So I'm super ecstatic about that. And the hankies are for when my poetry deals with some really intense subjects. And I'm very excited, but on the flip coin of that, I'm very nervous. So I welcome you to join me in a grounding exercise where we take 3 deep breaths. So if you're comfortable, join me. If you're not, that's perfectly fine. Put your feet flat on the floor. Right hand on your chest. Left hand on the lowest part of your belly and close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose. And when we breathe out through our mouth, we're going to make a whoosh noise, okay? And breathe out. Good. Breathe in. Drop your shoulders from your ears. And breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Unclench your jaw. And breathe out. Gently open your eyes. Thank you so much for doing that with me. So, let's begin. Tell me a story. Tell me a story. Tell me a love story about 2 souls meeting in a field of sparks. They were made of metal and wax. They would dance in the rain. Rust would set them on fire as they stomped railroad ties into the earth, tattooing a beat in the stars. The frogs would chirp a chorus as silent as the stars shine. Like bullet holes in the sky, that's how we breathe between the lines of connecting constellations. We tell ourselves stories because we have to. Don't forget to inhale. Make smoke signals, join the circle, break the pattern, scream until you are seen, whisper until you are heard. We tell ourselves stories because we have to. Tell me a tragedy. Love is just an addiction. Everything is just chemical reactions. You have to choose life to live. We tell ourselves stories because we have to. Tell me something I won't believe. One day you'll feel safe. It's just a numbers game. You have to live long enough. The data will even out. Don't forget to exhale. Now tell me the truth. You're getting better, but you're afraid that if you're finally able to let go of the pain, the wrongdoings done to you, the cage, then you'll be empty, like echoes from the center of ripples bouncing off cave walls. My world has shattered so many times. I'm picking through the pieces for the best ones, the most jagged ones, the shiny ones I want to taste like honeysuckle secrets. We tell ourselves stories because we have to. Love is not enough. Bringing the water to the horse won't make it ask questions. They aren't taking if you're giving. It's not brave if it's surviving. We tell ourselves stories because we have to. Make it an interesting one. Thank you. So the journal prompt on this one is the story you're telling yourself, a good one. And the little art prompt, of course, is tell me a story, because obviously. And the thing with the mantras, I'm going to say them 3 times. So if you feel comfortable repeating them after the first time, please join me. If not, I totally understand. I allow myself to be happy. I allow myself to be happy. I allow myself to be happy. Yes. Yes. Mayday in the time of COVID-19. Hello. My name is wage slave, mistaken for hero. This ill-fitting bandana wrapped below cheekbones does not hide a smile. I am wincing as you get too close. Do you think you're special? That your skin color, your bank account keeps you safe like it has done all your life? Death does not discriminate. Here in the great America, CEOs are getting bonuses while essential workers are lined up front, disposable at minimum wage. Propaganda preached like scripture, collective bargaining versus scab. Hello, I'll be your cashier today. I'm told to be brave, face the customer, accept money from coughed-in hands. Don't cover your face, they whisper from above. That's rude, they say. Don't sit, it makes you look lazy, they announce with a smile. I can see them struggle, restraining themselves from patting me on the head like a good, obedient puppy. I've been on my feet for 12 hours, I try to explain. I'm spat upon as the irate customer in a red baseball cap with 8 extra giant jumbo things of toilet paper push a 2-year past expired coupons in my palm, ripping my glove. That was the last pair in my size. We've now moved on to one size fits most, but fits no one well. My dainty, laty fingers are swimming in latex as I risk the urge to throw up my birds of glory to the jeering crowd, but then I remember that I needed like cat food. I see another customer shoving back a cart of someone who has stepped outside their taped marked on the floor box out of the corner of my eye as I bite the inside of my cheek, forcing a smile that hasn't been real in months. I can taste blood, and I want to scream obscenities to the heavens, but then I remember that I haven't gotten child support for this month, or last month, or really, I can't remember since when. forever had an expiration date shorter than the milk turning in the fridge, but it doesn't take that long to make a miracle when I've been told I'm a failure all my life just for existing. Born in sin, into sin, out of sin. How do we get out? God, are you listening? Have you ever? They're opening up restaurants as churches, as protests for haircuts or broadcasts. It's so few, but they are so loud. And they have very big guns. How small they must feel. Hello. My name is Officer. I'm scared too. Spotted someone with a backpack walking at night, consider not following, but I'm kind of bored. There's quota to meet, plus there's no way I won't win. I stumble out of my reinforced SUV, tug up my tackle belt, wonder, will they bolt? Hood up, bag of candy in pocket, official claim says, mistaken for gun. Eyes squeezed, paired with trigger, hand seen, embraced in prayer on folded knees. I can't breathe. Help me, Mama. This is how well the system works. How deep the roots of shame twist around spines, unable to acknowledge the scars so abundant there is no difference between it and skin at this point. We are all hurting. I wish you could see your tears because you're beautiful when you're that vulnerable. Stop pretending like we're so different. We haul roots in Africa. All this toxicity has talents in capitalism. The system is doing exactly what it was built to do in its fragmented way. So where do we start? Starved and begging for scraps like beaten dogs, shoved into cages of debt, keeping us fighting, feeding us gunpowder in the form of fear-mongering. What does the fox say? Hiding behind Bibles, touting torture devices as humble nooses and 24-karat and platinum. On sale for Mother's Day. Here's the thing. If we stop long enough to talk instead of just react, long enough to live our lives instead of just survive, treated our future like we were gonna be there too, instead of just keeping them alive, long enough to shove us into nursing homes while believing the story of being worthless, the moment we can no longer produce. As if the meaning to life, making a rich man richer as he plays war like a game of chess with lives that are pixels on a screen, ones and zeros, dots and dashes. As if the moment we are just stories and warnings to be ignored, we have no more purpose. Medicated to incompetence, shoved into corners with blankets on our laps. I will us to pause long enough to hold, to create, to reflect. This current way of life doesn't make sense. Cognitive dissonance makes such a comfy bedfellow. Isn't it convenient that my gods hate everyone I hate and looks just like me? I don't have a pretty solution to offer, something that fits in 140 characters or less. I do know that it doesn't have to be this way. You just have to start somewhere. I suggest within. Journal prompt. Describe a traumatic event that has been a gift in disguise. The art prompt. Draw a box with a monster in it. Here's the mantra. I see beauty and love in every situation.
I see beauty and love in every situation. I see beauty and love in every situation.
Yeah! Okay, so the next poem has to come with a trigger warning. It deals with SA, which stands for sexual assault. So if at any moment you feel so uncomfortable, you need to plug your ears, you need to go outside, Please keep yourself safe. You know your boundaries a lot better than anyone else, and you don't have to prove yourself to fucking anyone, all right? Keep yourself safe. That's the most important thing, okay? Okay. Forgive and forget. Forgive your rapist. You have to. Not for them, but to set yourself free. We're all just a universe experiencing itself in all the ways, with all the things, limitless combinations of mighty creation, bits of the same soul, parts of the whole. Monsters look like normal people, exceptionally human. You have to hold the scared little girl who wasn't protected, who was used and never taught that she had the power to say no. She knew the word. It was her first. I imagine she felt it on her tongue like a pomegranate seed as hard as a ruby. Mother Earth's red tears, etched to catch the light. And she tried. But there was a hand over her mouth, around her throat, fist between teeth, and her mother telling her to just give her uncle a kiss, as if the unwanted tickles that creates pleading and laughter were okay and asked for. One day, you'll grasp the concept of jazz hands consent. But before then, that hurt little girl would become a mother, without the armor and chainmail to keep herself safe, she'll run. Sometimes, her daughter's hand will be in her grasp, while walking through hell, examining the tortures of humanity that never seen herself as a dungeon master, keys bruising hips as she is yet again sacrificed. That mother will tell her daughter to just do it where she won't have to clean it up. And that daughter will write a plan. She will feel as if she was just born to die before her time. Somehow thriving outside the system, learning rules to just break them. The dog had a limp. How far can I push you until you push back? Until you find a seed, realize your anger is just a mask. But it's so rather versatile, isn't it? You must look closer. You must dig until there's filth under bitten down nails. We're all aching, but don't have the words to describe the story to ourselves. We weren't given this part of the script, but in reality, it's all made up. Do not grab at me like a child reaching for a snack because my vernacular has more shiny things. It's your turn to sit down with a dictionary in the desert as your only entertainment. When you're left alone, you must learn how to play nice with yourself. Be violent with your art. Stop breaking yourself on other people. You are so much more than your trauma. You might feel like you're in the eye of a tornado, and as if every move, no matter the direction, will be chaos. You're not wrong. But here's the funny thing. It's always chaos. And you've had a 100% survival rate of all your bad days. Go you! But I want to know, when recognizing your own needs and honestly communicating them became deemed rude, when did being human become such a dirty word that left you reaching for a distraction to clean your palate? Let's turn back time to when we didn't recognize ourselves in a still lake, before we captured the magic of fire and light, and the gods weren't so jealous, but instead playing games that we thought we could win by being humble. We accept the love we think we deserve. Things only have meaning once you give it. Do not waste your breath. I'm here to be an example, but I'm not so great at following patterns others set out for me. I'm sorry I grew bored with your outline. It was made of chalk, and I wanted hopscotch to catch tadpoles instead of fireflies mimicking the stars. I didn't want your touch. I wanted to be held. And I was taught to believe that if I desired cuddles, that I had to make you come first. Sticky like syrup or coagulating blood, you left handprints as I finger painted epitaphs across my chest. Follow the dotted line, X marks the spot where I thought I was safe in your arms. But you wouldn't kiss me as you dug at my soft spot. I didn't push you off. I thought you'd take enough of me to love again. I didn't scream. I choked back sobs. There wasn't enough air in my lungs to not breathe you in. Your hair brushed my face as I held my eyes shut, and you invaded my nightmares as if you were going to save me. Instead, you stroked the fire at the barrel of my dreams. I'm sorry that you are so weak, that you thought taking me would grant you passage, as if the pennies over the eyes of my self-worth were enough to buy back yours, but you'll always be broke. And the guitar strings in your veins will become a snare tuned to the note of empathy. You are forgiven. I whisper into the mirror. You are forgiven for being great. I will hold myself closer than my own skin, exactly where you touched, forcing me to vacate, to not take claims because there wasn't enough room for both of us. I stand alone, with an army behind me, as you flee. I forgive you. I understand in some fleeting moments. More often than not, I'm just forgetting to remember. Has something like this happened to you? Have you told someone you trust? Which can be very difficult because often those situations happen to us from someone we think we can trust. The art prompt is very simple. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. And the mantra, I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. So the next poem is also of a heavy subject, so I'm actually going to read the art prompts first. Write a letter to the coping mechanism that has saved you and been there for you, but you know ultimately will have to say goodbye to you for your highest self. What would an altar to the coping mechanism look like? And we're going to do the mantra after the poem for cleansing of the palate. Dear Cutting, thank you. Thank you for being there for me. I remember turning my back on you the first time we were introduced and kind of just smirked in your general direction as a 15-year-old girl offered up the crafting blades with raised eyebrows. I was shy and didn't know what you had to offer. I remember a time before you were in my life, but I don't remember the first time you kissed my skin, split me open for the world to see, but no one was looking. I went for the wrist after I was held down and raped. I carved broken and horror into my thighs after the second time it happened. I went after my legs when I couldn't run from my mother. I let a lover put flowers into my shoulder blades as if they were wings, but I couldn't fly. With you, I could soar. You were the only thing that could set me free for almost 10 years. You allowed me to be in control when everyone else was ripping it all away. You loved me unconditionally. You were always there, tucked in a box among my books like secrets, between the lines bound by spines. Books, more home than the walls surrounding me. Butterfly stitches and neosporin, my cocoon. You put me back together when I was broken into too many pieces to count. I held you like my mother should have held me. She seemed to hate the way I felt in her hands. Once, she became jealous and bled all over my blades. I was more disgusted and annoyed about how it was all contaminated. She looked at me, wide-eyed, expecting more as our roles of daughter and mother switched as it was a constant tornado of power struggle. She just shirking all that she could upon me, I just wanting to be seen more than something to brag about. I ended up burning that blood upon box of blades. I moved on to a silver palm-sized secret that fit just enough control to be mine. Given to me by then, best friend. We haven't spoken in years. That always seems to happen, and to be frank, I'm learning to be okay with it. I have written love poems alluding to you, dear Karim. I can't hide what you've done to me, leaving your mark for all to see. Shows the world where I've been. Even if it's a foreign map and a language they try to learn by eavesdropping, gaslighting the only lamp I've been allowed to lead the way. You've made me resilient. Scar tissue is stronger than my mother's words. These lines upon my arms are here to be filled with my future. Let me rewrite all the pain to something beautiful for others to observe. You've helped make me breathtaking. Well, at least texturized, ribbed for your pleasure. It's been over 4 years today since I turned to you last. After a neighbor screamed in my face, I stood in the bathroom with the shower running. I saw nothing and slashed, blood touching ground too quickly. Someone once asked me if I had an angry dog at home, pointing to the scars peeking out from my shorts. I told them that the angry dog was within, with a smile showing off my canines. But with the help of a trainer in the true form of a therapist, I've gotten that angry dog to wear a collar. With the help of my support system, I've gotten that angry dog to stop pulling so hard. I take them out on walks, let them run in the fields without the judgmental eyes of those who claim to love them, but have beaten them just for existing. That angry dog even comes back when called, knowing that they'll run again. That angry dog within gets fed a healthy, balanced diet of, please, don't ever question being you, because you are so damn complete when you stop looking over your shoulder. So, Karim, thank you for keeping me alive. You've made me bold. You've healed me beyond the others who have helped me. You made me recognize the boundaries of my skin, forced me to connect and take care of myself. I'd watch hands I didn't recognize as my own press gauze into dark corners to stop the blending of realities, blood pooling to the form of scrying mirrors. I had to look. Faced with too much I couldn't see. I was overwhelmed. With each scar healing, I refabricated what was needed, just enough to keep me breathing. Thank you for being there when no one else was. I love you. I will always cherish our time together. But I believe we must part ways. I'm sad to say goodbye. I still must reach out to you when it's dark, like a child reaching for their stuffed animal after a nightmare, or hitting redial on a number long deleted. I'll always remember you. I bought a promise ring for us on the 1-year anniversary of being parted from you. I wear it on a chain around my neck, a portal between the battles I've lost, of the wars I'm winning. I forgive all past experiences. I forgive all past experiences. I forgive all past experiences. That one's the hardest one, isn't it? It's hard. Thank you for crying. Thank you for being here.
That was this Leia Osiris. Y'all clap it up one more time for our future poet. Thank you for First of all, thank you, audience, for carrying that, for holding those poems. Those were not easy to listen to, but I'm sure that they were even more not easy to experience. And so thank you, Islaya, for trusting us, trusting our audience, and for sharing those poems and for writing those poems. I'm glad that this is a special anniversary for you, that it's been 4 years since you have, cut.
I do know.
Yeah, and so, yeah, of course you know, yeah. So this is a special day, and I'm glad that you were here to commemorate that triumph for yourself. We have a tradition here at Wednesday Night Poetry. We have this 139-year-old beaver skin hat, and whatever goes in the hat goes to our featured poet. So if you've got a little bit of cash in your pocket, half a cupcake, a mortgage lien, don't give them any handkerchiefs, okay? Because they brought those here. But we're gonna pass the hat a little bit. Stevie, could you play some music for us?
Okay, I just got back from my show and it was amazing. I got this giant pinwheel and someone gave me 2 candles because I laid out the journals and I was tipped a $2 bill. And look at these, look, fresh dates. They're so delicious. Not like fresh, but like definitely fresher than the ones I have in my fridge. And the little barista wrote, "You're a star in my cup," and I didn't even notice because I was like so in the moment because I hadn't ordered early in time, so I had to get the soup and a piece of cheesecake, which is fine. I'm excited, but it was a really good show and people cried and someone bought 14 copies of my book to pass out to everyone in the crowd. It was a good day.